Welcome to Election Day PollWorker Training. Please refer to your election board training guide available on our website and in your election materials box. For more information on Election Day procedures and rules, rely on your election board checklist when setting up on Election Day.
Meet all election board officials at the polling place between 6 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. If all members are not present, contact the missing officials immediately.
Make sure to have your election materials box with the correct ward and division you are assigned to work on Election Day. Check your Express Vote XL ward and division to make sure each machine matches your election materials box. Make sure you are fully staffed with 5 board workers, or as many as 6 if your division requires 3 machines or has a bilingual interpreter.
If a division has more than 2 voting machines, the division is entitled to a second machine inspector.
Election board officials must take the oath of office before interacting with any election materials. The printed oath of office is inside the election materials box. The judge of election is sworn in first by the minority inspector. The judge will then swear in the remainder of the board.
Turn on the cell phone provided by the Board of Elections. We will use this phone to contact you in case of emergency. Utilize temporary modifications at polling places to provide independent access for disabled voters. If your polling place has been provided a temporary modification, it must be in place before the polls open on Election Day.
Once everyone has been sworn in, you should begin setting up your polling place. The polling place must be fully set up for voting by 7 a.m. Begin by opening the polls on the Express Vote XL machines. Confirm again that you have the correct ward and division on your Express Vote XLs. Plug the power cord from the Express Vote XL into a power outlet and make sure the power status panel on the upper left corner of the Express Vote XL is green. Lock the wheels on the Express Vote XL. Break the first green seal on the black cover of the Express Vote XL. Break the second green seal on the back gray panel and record the broken seal number on the poll site seal card, which will be found in the white materials box. Break the final green seal on the white panel door and record the broken seal number on the poll site seal card. Inside the election materials box, you will find the lanyard with the barrel key and the election code. Open the access compartment door with the barrel key. Inside, you will find a red wire seal still intact. Make no attempt to remove this seal. Ensure the USB stick is inserted into one of the USB slots. Do not remove the USB stick. An unused yellow seal will be found beneath the access compartment door. Remove the yellow seal and press and release the red power button. Close the access compartment door and lock the door using the barrel key. Move to the back of the access compartment. Reseal the white panel door with the yellow seal. Be sure to record the yellow seal number on the poll site seal card. Once the Express Vote XL powers on, you should adjust the screen to a comfortable angle. The first screen that appears will request an election code. Input the election code located in the lanyard. Upon successful election code entry, the second screen that appears will be the poll and device status screen. Verify that you have the correct ward and division on the screen and that your public count is 0. Tap Open Polls and re-enter the election code. Touch the Accept button. The 0 tape will print from the report printer. Prevent the tape from touching the screen. Once the tape has finished printing, review the tape to ensure all results show 0 votes. Each poll worker will then sign the printed tapes from the machine. After verifying and signing the 0 tapes, touch the Continue button on the Express Vote XL. Place the signed 0 tapes from each Express Vote XL in the RTC envelope, which is located in the final bag. Touch the Go to Voting button. Move to the back of the Express Vote XL, which is labeled as Machine A. Use the barrel key to unlock and open the rear storage door. Remove the ADA device, the Universal Voting Console and headphones, from the storage area. Place the ADA device on the left corner of the Express Vote XL's frame above the rear storage door. Plug the headphones into the headphone jack. Ensure the USB cable is plugged into the USB slot on the left inside corner within the rear storage area. Close the rear storage door, carefully feeding the USB cable through the small notch at the top left corner of the door. Lock the rear storage door with the barrel key. Move to the back of the Express Vote XL, which is labeled as Machine B. Use the barrel key to unlock and open the rear storage door. Remove your blank paper ballots, bringing them back to the election table. Leave the ballot hopper bag inside the rear storage door. Finally, set up the privacy curtain by first loosening the white plastic clamps on the privacy curtain rod mounts on either side of the Express Vote XL and extending the mounts to the maximum height. Retighten the clamps. Then, at the bottom rear of the ExpressVote XL, pull off the left side of the privacy curtain storage container cap while keeping the storage container intact. Remove the privacy curtain from the storage container and recap the container. On the front of the ExpressVote XL, you will insert the privacy curtain rods into the privacy curtain rod mounts and unroll the curtain. Step out of the voting booth and adjust the voting light so it's pointing upwards. Congratulations, your ExpressVote XL machines are ready for voting. Continue setting up your polling place with the materials found within your election materials box. Hang your posters inside and outside the polling place. You will have 2 blue posters for the inside only, voting laws, white posters, pink posters, sample ballots in English and Spanish, yellow posters, and the blue accessibility posters if necessary. Each division should hang up their own set of posters. Set up the election tables with the following materials: 2 poll books labeled A through L and M through Z, supplemental pages, 2 yellow books identified as number 2 and number 4, language access guide, absentee mail-in voters list, which are delivered by a police officer in the morning, the purple folder, labeled Attention Judge of Election, which contains the following important forms: assistance declarations, affirmations of electors, English and Spanish I voted stickers, plain English and Spanish statements for ballot questions, HA/VA statements of compliant and miscellaneous notices, and the American flag. The Judge of Election is responsible for overseeing the entire election process, including assigning specific tasks to other members of the election board. The Judge of Elections will ensure board workers are able to process incoming voters while maintaining strict social distancing requirements. Board workers' exact responsibilities may be rotated throughout the day to meet these needs. Ordinarily, the positions will be filled as follows, unless the judge reassigns work as necessary. The majority inspector handles the poll book containing voters from A through L. The minority inspector handles the poll book containing voters M through Z. The clerk writes and keeps track of number 2 and number 4 books, along with managing the admission slips. The machine inspector sets up and operates the ExpressVote XL machines. The bilingual interpreter, if available, assists and translates for anyone with languages other than English. It is critical to maintain the safety and health of all the poll workers and all the voters during the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Be sure to practice social distancing, keeping all voters 6 feet apart throughout the voting process. Poll workers will be provided with sanitary protective gloves, FDA-approved surgical masks, disinfectant antibacterial wipes, hand sanitizer, and plexiglass barrier shields. Voters will have a handheld sanitizer pump bottle available and will receive 1 disposable glove each. Welcome the voters to an amazing voting experience. Make sure the voting area is clean and visible to the voter. Greet each voter as they approach the election table. Allow the voter to walk up to the election table and check in. Please make sure that each voter's experience is a pleasant one. Voters have the right to vote without the use of threat, force, violence, restraint, intimidation, coercion, or any other action intended to deny any individual's right to vote. Remember, electioneering is not allowed inside the polling place or within 10 from the entrance of the voting area. Electioneering includes handing out campaign literature, promoting a candidate, or otherwise discussing candidates or political parties in front of a voter. Voters have the right to vote without the use of threat, force, violence, restraint, intimidation, coercion, or any other action intended to deny any individual's right to vote. Remember, electioneering is not allowed inside the polling place or within 10 feet from the entrance of the voting area. Electioneering includes handing out campaign literature, promoting a candidate, or otherwise discussing candidates or political parties in front of a voter. Poll watchers represent a candidate or political party. They must have a valid certificate from the Office of the City Commissioners. Only 1 poll watcher per party or candidate may be present in the polling place at a time during voting hours, from 6:30 a.m. through the close of polls. If no voters are present, they can request the number of voters who voted, view the poll books and number 2 and number 4 books, ask for and receive the machine counts, and take pictures inside the polling place. They cannot go behind the voting machines and cannot take pictures of voters in the act of voting. Your polling place may be visited periodically throughout Election Day by machine technicians employed by the city, either directly or through a contractor, who are performing courtesy checks on the ExpressVote XLs. Always check for an employee badge or ID card. There are several voting scenarios that can occur during the course of Election Day. For the most part, a voter will check in with the board workers who are currently seated at the election table in front of the poll books, sign the poll book or supplemental book, and receive a blank paper ballot. Please try not to hand out the ballot until the voter is ready to walk up to the Express Vote XL. The voter will insert the paper ballot into the paper ballot slot on the right side of the Express Vote XL, ensuring the cut corner is on the upper right side. The voting session indicator light will turn on, signifying that a voter is in a voting session. Since the passage of Act 77 in 2019, the straight party ticket option has been removed. Voters may select a candidate from any available party. A voter wishing to vote for all candidates of a particular party shall select each of those candidates individually on the screen. The voter will select their language preference and touch Start Voting in the lower right corner of the screen. The voter may mark their selections by touching anywhere inside the box around their choice. Voters are encouraged to touch the center of that box to maximize accuracy. Once a selection is made, their choice will be highlighted in green. If the voter touches the write-in box for a particular selection, the write-in screen will appear. The voter will type the candidate's name using the on-screen keyboard, then touch the Accept button. The write-in candidate's name will appear in the box and the box will turn green. If the voter wishes to see the ballot questions in larger print or read the plain English statement relating to a ballot question, the voter can select the full text button on the screen. When the voter has finished reading the ballot question in plain English statement, the voter will touch Return to Ballot. After all selections have been made, the voter should carefully review every selection on the screen before printing the ballot. When they are satisfied with their selections, the voter will touch Print Ballot at the bottom right corner of the screen, bringing up a confirmation screen. If a voter wishes to change their selections before the ballot is printed, they may tap Return to Ballot now. Once ready, the voter will tap Print on the confirmation screen. The printed ballot will appear in the clear preview window on the Paper Path module. The voter should again verify every selection was printed correctly, then touch Vote on the screen to cast the ballot. The system will tabulate their vote, and the paper ballot will be stored in the secure ballot hopper. The screen will confirm that the vote has been cast by displaying a thank you message in the I voted picture for a few seconds before returning to the Ready to Vote screen for the next voter. Once a ballot has been printed, it cannot be altered. If a voter wishes to alter their selections after the ballot has printed, they must spoil their ballot before casting their vote. To do this, the voter must select Spoil Ballot on the Cast Ballot confirmation screen. This will cancel the voting session and alert a poll worker that the voter requires assistance. The machine inspector will instruct the voter to look away as they touch the red alert circle and enter the election code, which is found inside the lanyard. The machine inspector will confirm the reason for ending the voting session, tap on Voter's Request, and touch Accept. The paper ballot will eject from the Express Vote XL, and the machine inspector will direct the voter to return to the election table, where the judge of election will provide the voter with a black marker and spoiled ballot sticker. These items are found inside the election materials box. The judge of election will direct the voter to a secluded area within the polling place where the voter will black out the barcodes and selections on their ballot using their black marker before placing the spoiled ballot sticker over the blacked out barcodes. The voter will then return their spoiled ballot to the judge of election to be placed within the spoiled ballot's envelope. The majority inspector seated at the election table will locate the voter's name in the poll book or supplemental book and write S1 under the voter's admission number. The clerk will write S1 next to the voter's name in the number 2 and number 4 yellow books. The voter will be issued a new blank paper ballot. The voter will proceed to the next available Express Vote XL and begin the voting process again. Voters will have 3 opportunities to spoil ballots, with the judge and clerk adding S2 and S3 in the poll book and yellow books as additional ballots are issued. Any voter who has already spoiled 3 ballots may no longer vote on the Express Vote XL and will instead be issued a provisional ballot. If a voter received a mail-in or absentee ballot but no longer wishes to vote on that ballot and would prefer to vote on the Express Vote XL machine, the voter has a new option under Act 12, passed in early 2020. The voter must surrender their mail-in or absentee ballot along with their voter's declaration envelope to the judge of election. The voter must then sign an affirmation stating that they are surrendering their ballot materials and have not already voted in this election. The voter will then sign into the poll book and be allowed to vote on the Express Vote XL. No voter who has requested a mail-in or absentee ballot may vote on an Express Vote XL or sign into the poll book without first following these steps. Any voter appearing at the polling place whose name is not in the poll book is entitled to vote by provisional ballot. Voters may be required to vote by provisional ballot if they are not otherwise eligible to vote on the Express Vote XL. This can occur for any of the following reasons. The voter's name could not be found in the poll book or the supplemental book. The voter is required to provide ID but does not have valid ID. In primary elections only, a voter claiming the political party listed in the poll book is inaccurate. The voter applied for a mail-in or absentee ballot but is not surrendering their ballot and voter's declaration envelope. On rare occasions, voters in the following scenarios may also vote by provisional ballot. A voter's identity has been challenged, a person appearing with a court order, when there has been a court-ordered extension of polls closing time, a voter spoiled 3 ballots on the Express Vote XL, 50% or more of the voting machines are not working and voters are waiting to use the election machines. When issuing a provisional ballot to a voter, it's important to follow through the steps in the correct order. Before the ballot is provided to the voter must fill in the provisional affidavit envelope, printing their name, date of birth, telephone number, full registered address, and signing in sections number 1 and number 2. In section number 3, the voter must enter their current address. The judge of election and minority inspector must observe the voter filling in the envelope and then write in the ward division, date, reason for ballot, and sign the bottom section of the envelope before the ballot is marked by the voter. Once that has all been filled out, the voter will be presented with the ballot, which they will mark in a private, secluded section of the polling place. After marking their ballot, the voter must return the ballot to the judge of election to place inside the provisional affidavit envelope. The voter then signs and dates section number 4 on the provisional affidavit envelope. The judge of election and minority inspector must witness the voter sign the affidavit on the provisional affidavit envelope. The judge of election and minority inspector then affix a ballot ID number sticker on the provisional affidavit envelope and present the voter with a receipt matching that ballot ID number sticker so they can check the status of their ballot after the election. If the provisional ballot was used because voting machines were not working, the judge of election will place a machine down sticker in the bottom section of the provisional affidavit envelope. If a voter requests ADA-assisted voting, the machine inspector will provide the voter with the ADA device and headphones. Once the ballot has been inserted in the paper path module, the voter may activate the assistive voting mode by pressing the green square select button on the ADA device, producing the help screen on the Express Vote XL. The machine inspector should assist the voter with adjusting the volume and tempo before they begin voting. If the voter has brought a rocker paddle or sip and puff device, the machine inspector can help plug that device into the ADA device. They may now listen to the audio ballot instructions using the headphones and navigate the voting process using the keypad on the ADA device. The yellow next button and green select button will allow the voter to progress through the voting process and make their selections. Once the voter has confirmed, verified, printed, and cast their ballot, the Express Vote XL screen will automatically reset to default. If a voter has never voted in your division before, they will be required to show some form of identification. The board worker will ask the voter to provide this identification, which may be a valid Pennsylvania driver's license or state ID, U.S. passport, voter registration card, student ID, employee ID, or otherwise acceptable form of identification. Please refer to the Election Board Guide for the complete list of approved forms of identification. Once the voter has provided an acceptable form of ID, they may sign into the poll book and vote on the Express Vote XL. If the voter does not have an acceptable ID, they must vote by provisional ballot. If a voter has an inactive status, they must complete an affirmation of elector form before being able to vote. This form is located inside the purple folder marked Attention Judge of Election. The board worker will hand the voter the form to be completed, filling in sections A and/or C and signing the affirmation prior to signing into the poll book. The minority inspector will initial the form and input the voter's admission number in the appropriate box on the voter's record in the poll book. The minority inspector will place the completed form in the number 2 envelope. The voter may then sign into the poll book and proceed to vote on the Express Vote XL. After a voter has signed into the poll book, if they request assistance with voting on the Express Vote XL, they must first complete an assistance declaration form. This form is found in the purple folder marked Attention Judge of Election. The machine inspector and judge of election should sign the form once the voter has completed their portion. The voter may then proceed to the Express Vote XL. Voters are entitled to receive assistance from anyone they choose, except the judge of election, employer, or their union representative. The person providing assistance may not promote a candidate or discourage a voter from selecting any candidate while providing assistance. It is very important to have every voter complete the assistance declaration form before receiving assistance. All polls must remain open until 8 p.m. when it is time to close the polls. All Express Vote XL machines must remain open until then. Any voter who is in line to vote by 8 p.m. may vote. If you have a line at 8 p.m., a poll worker should hold the last place in line to ensure nobody else attempts to join the line. After all voters have finished their voting sessions and no voters remain in the polling place, you may close the polls. Each board member will sign the affidavit for identification requirements located at the front of each poll book, swearing under oath that they have examined the approved forms of identification presented by voters for whom the election official have affixed their initials in the poll book. The machine inspector will close the Express Vote XL. All closing seals are found in the election materials box. The judge will delegate poll closing tasks to board members as needed. No board member should leave the polling place until polls have fully closed. Lower the privacy curtain mounts on the Express Vote XL, then move the privacy curtain from the mounts and roll the curtain up. Move to the back of the machine, remove the storage container cap, and return the privacy curtain to the container. Recap the container. Break and remove the yellow security seal on the white panel door. The seal number should have already been recorded on the poll site seal card in the morning. Return to the front of the Express Vote XL and use the barrel key to unlock and open the media access compartment door. Press and release the black mode toggle switch left until you hear a click. Do not hold it down. After a few seconds, the supervisor menu screen will appear. Touch the blue Close Poll button on the screen and enter the election code. Touch Accept on the screen. The results tapes will automatically start printing. Prevent the tapes from contacting the screen. After all results copy finish printing, remove the results tapes and separate each of the 7 copies. Make sure every board member signs all copies of the paper tape from each machine. When the Express Vote XL displays the device closed and collected screen, remove the USB stick from pinching and pulling it from inside the media access compartment. The final screen will display the power off button. Touch that, then touch shut down on the screen. Close and lock the media access compartment door, then lower the gray protective screen cover and adjust the screen angle to an upright position. Return to the back of the Express Vote XL labeled A. Using the barrel key, unlock the rear storage compartment door and place the ADA device, along with any remaining unused paper ballots, back into the storage compartment, then shut and lock the door. Return to the back of the Express Vote XL labeled B. Using the barrel key, unlock the rear storage compartment door and remove the ballot hopper bag. Using the barrel key, close rear storage door. Place the USB stick from each Express Vote XL inside the vinyl bag that goes with the police officer. Do not place them anywhere else but that vinyl bag. Close and lock the media access compartment door, then lower the gray protective screen cover and adjust the screen angle to an upright position. Seal the rear storage compartment doors on each machine with the red closing security seal. Using the barrel key, unlock the Paper Path module door located to the right of the clear preview window. Inside the Paper Path module, press the green lever forward to release the ballot hopper from the Express Vote XL. Close and lock the Paper Path module door. Seal the ballot hopper with the red wire ballot hopper seal. Record the red ballot hopper seal number on the poll site seal card. Then place the sealed ballot hopper inside the ballot hopper bag. Include all Express Vote XL's sealed ballot hoppers in the ballot hopper bag. Include the provisional voting return C envelope, spoiled ballot envelope, surrendering mail-in and absentee ballot envelope, and the poll site seal card in the ballot hopper bag and pull the string tight to close the bag. Do not use a seal on the hopper bag. Close the paper module door using the barrel key. Unplug the Express Vote XL's power cord from the electrical outlet and secure the cord onto the side of the Express Vote XL. Put the black cover back over the Express Vote XL and seal the cover flap using the red cover security seal. Finally, unlock the wheels on the Express Vote XLs and move the machines back to the designated place where they were found at the beginning of the day. Relock the wheels. The results tapes from each machine must be handled in the same way. The final, longest results tapes from each machine will go into the RTC envelope within the vinyl bag. 1 copy will go outside of the polling place for public inspection. 1 copy will go inside the number 2 envelope and 1 will go inside the number 4 envelope. Extra copies will be given to the Democratic and Republican committee people, if present, and any representative of a minor party candidate. The judge will place the USB stick from each Express Vote XL, absentee mail-in voters list, city-issued cell phone, and barrel keys inside the vinyl results bag. The bag will be closed and zippered shut. All posters will be taken down without damaging the walls at the polling place. A copy of the completed oath of officers form, the number 2 yellow book, 1 results tape copy, and the record of assisted voters will all be placed inside the number 2 envelope. A copy of the completed oath of officers form, 1 results tape, and the number 4 yellow book will all be placed inside the number 4 envelope, which will be retained by the minority inspector for 1 year. The clerk will place the remaining materials back inside the election materials box. The election board must wait for the police officer. The police officer will collect both the vinyl results bag and the hopper bag. The vinyl results bag should not be placed inside the hopper bag. The election payroll sheet should be filled out by the board workers and placed inside the election materials box. After the police officer has collected the vinyl bag and hopper bag, The remaining board workers may be dismissed. The judge of elections is then responsible for returning the election materials box and all its contents to 520 North Columbus Boulevard by 2 a.m. that night.
Thank you for attending the Philadelphia Election Board Training Program. Your participation is greatly appreciated. We know you will have a happy and safe election day.